7:59, November 13th, 2019, 8:48 is 49 minutes away, and then 9:03 is an hour and 4 minutes away. How can it be prolonged any longer? It's long suffering is what it is. It's obvious as all hell as to what is like going on in the world when it comes to everything being a script that they're following. It's been written, every event has already been produced, and they're just waiting to push the play button and then have the boots on the ground and to make it manifest. Paul Begley's over in Israel. You know, how can you not know that these people are in on it? Like, how can you watch and just be like, oh yeah, good guy. One of the things that he said was, some person had a dream last year about me, when I go over to Israel, something's gonna happen, and he said his wife said that they're gonna come back on Thursday, which is tomorrow, which means today would be a good day for, I mean, there's already 200 rockets flying over Israel, right? As Paul Begley, the Messiah, is there, because Mike from Around the World told him that things like this were going to happen. He said it. So that Israel, it looks like it looks like they're going to get hit. Yep, looks like they're going to get hit. New Jerusalem is going to get hit. Whichever way you want to interpret Israel, Israelites, Jerusalem, New Jerusalem, Philadelphia, New Philadelphia, however you want to look at it. They both get hit because you can't just hit one witness and not the other witness. You have to hit them both, because you don't know which particular person believes or has interpreted it their own private way. You interpret New Jerusalem as being over there in Israel, like over in New Jerusalem, or as Jonathan Kleck is implying, not truly implying that Philadelphia is New Jerusalem, but mentioning the Church of Philadelphia and New Jerusalem and brotherly love and three in a row. And Chad Buxam, right, from AMTV, has just mentioned that they're going to drop bombshell after bombshell after bombshell. That would be 3 bombshells being dropped at the hearings in Washington, D.C. today, Wednesday, in the midst of the week. I mean, look, there's a 45-day period from the time that you see the abomination of desolation, Jonathan Kleck, standing in the holy place, because he's the face. He's not the only person that's in charge of pushing buttons and showing 200 missiles flying over into the sky with his laser beam Johnny. He's not the only person that's involved with that. So, but he's the face. He's the one that's going to be held responsible. You know. So I see how it works. I see. You take the bank. You go to 17th and JFK. You explode a bomb up, in the 8th floor, building 8, 17th JFK in Philadelphia. Chase Bank 8. You drop the bomb in there, and then that way that clears that clears the area, all right? Because William Penn's right down the street. It's like 200 yards. Same amount of distance between Building 75, Home Depot in Dallas, Texas, and that Lighthouse Church, I think it is. That was 200 yards away at 1400 block. 1400 Cherry is also 200 yards from William Penn building. So it's going south, it's 200 yards, and if you go from the west to the east to William Penn, the building 8, it's 200 yards, right around there. So what you do is you clear. What they're going to do is they're going to clear the area, because it's going to be a bomb. You're not going to know if it's, everybody's evacuated. Evacuate, get out of here, beat it, come on, go, hurry, shoot. And that's the only way I can see how Kleck and them, as they're telling you that people are dying all over the world, but they're really not. That's the only way that I can see how they can get away with, clearing, kind of like the first 9/11. You hit the building with a bomb up top, and then you get the evacuations going. Now remember, I'm just saying this because I don't think anybody's dying, and it's going to be proven one way or another real soon if they are or if they aren't, because they need to show me everything that they got, every single possible little trick. I swear they're scared right now, because they're scared, because their whole plan is unraveling, right? And they know that once you throw your last pitch, or whatever, however you want to analyze it, once you give us your best shot, taking a shot at it, it's over from that point on. So I'm trying to help Jonathan Kleck by, all you got to do is just tell the truth. If you tell the truth, it shall set you free. If you want to continue to lie, and you want to continue to push that all these people died, and all these shootings and bombings and everything that we see happening in the world, not in front of our face, but like on TV, of course. Remember, did any of yous, I'm asking real people, did any of yous know anybody that died in any of these shootings, any of these bombings and stabbings? And have you heard, do you know somebody that knows somebody? Or is it just like they'll say, a troll will get on here and say, yeah, I know this person from so-and-so over there. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to real people that are here for a real reason. Do you know anybody that actually got killed like they said? I'm not talking about in regular life, like, yeah, my uncle got shot the other day. No, I mean, like, was it on the news, and were they trying to push it as fear? And do you know if it was true or not? So I'm giving Jonathan Kleck a way out now, and I know he's not going to take it, but he's going to consider it after the fact. Because what are you going to do? You're going to take that, you're going to say that people, are you going to still say that people died when you're responsible for these acts, behind the scenes acts, shooting 200 missiles over in Israel right now with all those laser beam Johnnies, this weather that's freezing up, getting super cold, people playing God, man. They're up in those control booths, just like the Truman Show. When it's time for Christophilus to try to take out Mr. Truman and just wipe him away with the wind machine and the rain machine and the water machine. They showed us that's what they were doing back then. I'm not sure what any horns really do. I've never understood it. I mean, like, it's like, look, think about it. If I beep the horn right now, what the hell good is it going to do any good? Wait. I can't wait till the whole freaking world just stops. Just stops. How much longer can this go on for? How much longer do we have to wait for this inevitable, obvious second 9/11 to hit here in Philly, to hit over in Washington, to hit in Israel? Because they are playing the two witnesses, America and Israel. Now, where at? In Jerusalem, you know, well, I'd say Israel. I mean, it's going to happen over there. The Al-Aqsa Mosque. And you can't forget about the Al-Aqsa Mosque. I hear some words of Paul Begley saying, or Israeli News Live, I believe that some people got killed over in Al-Aqsa, some kind of leader or something, which is leading over here. Look, man, it's Wednesday. It's the frickin' 13th. It's not Friday. But I remember saying that Home Depot is going to get shot up on the 13th of August because it was Friday the 13th, but then nothing happened. But I understand also how the elite like to they like to prolong things like in threes. They like to prolong stuff in threes. So if you take the number 3 and if you prolong it for 3 months, you got today. And then if not, well, November 21st, 2016, I remember Kleck showing his little images and letting you know about these missiles coming over, and that was 3 years. That would be 3 years ago. And that would be on Thursday. He did say Batcat disappeared on Thursday. But remember, when Batcat disappears, which is the truth, there's like a 3 days of seems like it's 3 days of back-to-back, which could start today, you know, back-to-back bombings and bombshells, and then darkness here in Philly, and then there's, you gotta remember, there's still a 40-day period that Kleck has to play the risen, like the Antichrist, just rising up. Oh yeah, keep this in mind too. When Christ was walking the earth, and when he got crucified on a daily basis, and when they finally silenced him and nailed him stationary to a cross, because right before that, right as he was nailed to the cross, it was a crossing point, because from that point, when Christ was crucified, when he was silenced, when he was nailed to a tree, and just symbolizing the fact that his hands can't write anymore, his feet can't walk anymore, and they ended up poking him in the side. Once they laid his body in a tomb to his resting place, that crossing over, because even the Roman soldier at that time, as soon as he was crucified, as soon as they silenced his ass, the Roman soldier said surely that was the Son of God. So when he was silenced, that's when there's a crossing point, and that's when the Spirit of Christ starts to manifest. And 3 days later, after he was in the belly of the underground, under the ground, in the earth for 3 days, once he popped his head back up, that's when the Spirit entered into, like the 7,000 people, apparently, or 5,000, or 3,000. I forget how many thousand, but there was a few thousand people that it hit automatically. Like, oh shit, yep, there you go. And then there was a 40-day period from that point on that only the people that were with him saw him. And they're the ones that recorded it and wrote it down, and that's why we have the history of it now. So likewise, the same thing happens in the end here, but at a certain point, it no longer continues to repeat itself. At a certain point, it's Christ returns, the spirit and energy enters into all of the people, and then it just continues to enter into everybody, every single person in the world. The message gets through because the events that are going to happen, and this, the second 9/11 has never happened before, and World War III has never happened before. And it's just not, all these things never happen. Of course they're going to happen, one after another after another. But when? It's like, it's you know what I'm saying? It's like waiting and waiting and weighing it out. I'm getting impatient waiting for it, because the way that the world is right now, just everybody's tired of it. I'm tired of seeing people hurrying up, rushing to work, rushing to school, rushing to there, rushing to... Everybody's impatient, trying to get to their job that they can't stand going to, that they have to work, and they have no time, and it's just... They don't make enough money. People are miserable. It's nonstop. It's... Like, this is the way the world has been all this time. Where the hell have I been? I would never stand for this crap. Thank God that we're at that time where things are going to change. With or without me, they were already going to change. I don't know with the effect that it would have, but the things are going to change. They were going to change for the worst, but now they're going to change for the better. So come on, like, push the frickin' button already.